Hey guys, this is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. This is Happy Thursday. Okay, so today's topic is, I'm sure, something or is a topic that you've been hearing a lot about in the last year and a half. And you also been hearing me talk about follow the science when it comes to different medical underlying diseases or ways to reverse diseases. I always say follow the science. So the title to this topic is Follow the Science. A new COVID-19 treatment clinic opens in Riverside County. And so basically I'm here to give that information to you, but there's something different about this clinic than what's going on out there as far as how and to combat COVID-19. Now, this is the first stated clinic approved here in California, and it's right here in the Riverside County. Now, let me lay a foundation down first. We talk a lot about, or not me, but mostly the news media and the doctors and researchers have been talking a lot about how important a strong immune system is to prevent or lessen the symptoms of COVID-19. This is not me, this is them. They've been talking a lot about this. And the ones that are actually getting hit the hardest are the ones that are have some kind of underlying disease, and they're actually listing the underlying diseases by what's the worst, and then go second, third, and fourth. And it's interesting that they just started to list obesity as number one, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. What I mean is that if you're obese or heavily overweight, then your chances of having severe symptoms of COVID-19 is much, much higher. That doesn't mean you actually are going to have issues, but they just your chances are higher. But before I do that, guys, I need to give you something here. The information provided is not intended to be a substitute for professional and medical advice. This is my disclaimer. Or I'm not diagnosing or giving you any kind of treatment. Never disregard the professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have read on either my website or have heard me say on live Facebook or blogs. Never rely on information on this website in place or this video in place of seeking professional medical advice. I have to say that before I get started because I'm going to talk a little bit about something that's going on today. And so, guys, I just got this message today that a new clinic opened up here in the Riverside County area, and I'll give you the name of this clinic. But something interesting about this clinic that I'm going to mention in this live video. And first of all, what this clinic is, how they're treating COVID-19 patients is, maybe some of you have heard of this before, but it's an antibody that they're down. Monoclonal antibody. Now, this antibody was developed to treat COVID-19, and it targets the spike protein, which the virus uses to enter your host cell. These antibodies will actually attach themselves to this spike protein and keep it from entering or causing damage or infecting your cells. That's what this antibody is doing. So if I'm reading this right, this came right from the site, not from me. If I'm reading this right, this seems more, I can't say natural, but it seems to be a little more a better way, I guess, to treating COVID-19. Now, this is the interesting thing about it. Here we go again. They're talking about antibodies that are mimicking the immune system itself. So, Emily and I have been, we put together 3 programs that actually are known by science to help boost your immune system. And I've done videos about during these times of these different viruses that are popping up, that science has always been saying that if you get your immune system strong, you're going to have a better chance of preventing viruses or lessen the effects of these viruses. And these 3 programs are all backed by science. The first one is change the types of foods you're eating. The second one is change how often you eat. And the third one is molecular hydrogen H2 that's in hydrogen-rich water. Change the type of water you're drinking. Those are the 3 programs that we're offering on our online personal coaching programs. But they stated that, now I'm going to read you exactly what they're talking about. This is a site, and they're explaining exactly what they're talking about. Okay, they stated the center is to combat severe and life-threatening illnesses to COVID-19 patients. That's what this new center is supposedly set up for. It opened at Riverside University Health System Medical Center in Moreno Valley. The antibodies mimic, and this is what they're saying, they're kind of explaining what these antibodies do. The antibodies mimic your own immune system. I'm reading off their site. Their own immune system. Let me say it again. These antibodies mimic your own immune system. So, guys, I just printed off some science, or from a science site, exactly what they meant by that. So let me read you real quick from a science site. It's called the Houston Methodist of Medicine, and this is by Dr. Hung. Okay, so this is a quote from the site. These are antibodies that are similar, the ones your body would naturally make in response to infections. So what they're saying here is these antibodies were developed to mimic your own natural immune system. Well, I think, wouldn't it make more sense to go and, to maybe boost your own immune system to prevent viruses like what's going on today? Or even if you do get the virus, to lessen the effects or the symptoms of these viruses? Why not? Why wait for you to get it and then go down to the Riverside County here and get treated with these antibodies when you can actually do it yourself? It's easy to do. You can reverse your depressed immune system by just changing the type of food you're eating, how often you eat, which is backed by science, and of course change the type of water to molecular hydrogen H2 water. That's very simple to do, but why wait until you get the disease when you can actually start now? And now those of you that are obese or heavily overweight, or type 2 diabetes, or fatty liver disease, or whatever disease, you guys can change your lifestyle today and boost your immune system up for the rest of your life with the right guidance. Let me finish the quote here. However, these antibodies are mass produced in a laboratory. That's the difference. This is the difference between your own immune system and these antibodies. They're mass produced in a laboratory and are designed to recognize a specific component of the virus, which is the spike protein. It attaches itself, the antibodies attaches itself to these spike proteins, apparently on the shell, and then keeps, and by doing this, it prevents that spike protein to be introduced to your host cell. That's how these antibodies work, which to me sounds pretty encouraging. I mean, it sounds pretty good actually, but there's always a catch to something good, right? Yep, there always is. So let me read you what the catch is. Science has, I've said this many times, science has also shows that you can build your immune system up to fight off most all viruses and diseases. You just have to get your body into a healthy environment. Now, there is a catch. This is off the site. There is a catch on who is eligible to receive these antibodies. There's your catch. Number one, they say right off the top, you have to be tested twice and proved that you have COVID-19. So, again, do you really want to wait to get it? I hope not. And then number two, you have to have at least one of these risk factors, and I'm gonna count them off, which is number one, number two, and number three. And number one, number two, number three, they all have something in common. It's crazy. Number one, the first risk factor you must have is obesity. That's what I'm saying. They're now saying that obesity or heavily overweight people are now at the top of the chain of who are going to have severe symptoms when they do contract COVID-19. Wouldn't it be much easier to go ahead and reverse obesity or lose some of that weight now? Change your lifestyle? I hope so. Number two, you have to have chronic kidney disease. Well, if you're obese, most likely you've got a fatty liver. Okay, and your markers, your markers might be up because of that, because of your obesity. You could have a kidney. Now, honestly, I think that they should have reversed 2 and 3. Number 3 risk factor is diabetes. Diabetes a year ago, or I don't know, less than a year ago, was number 1. That was the number 1 underlying disease where people were seeing the major severe symptoms of COVID. It was sitting at number 1 for a long time. Now they put obesity at number 1. Obesity, all that is just a precursor to type 2 diabetes. So it's still, type 2 diabetes should still be way up there. But I think they should switch chronic kidney disease and put diabetes in that place and then bring chronic kidney disease down to 3. They all have something in common because those underlying diseases causes each one. So if you have one or the other, you're going to have one of these others. Okay? Guys, you can reverse these diseases naturally by just changing the type of, I've done so many videos about the benefits. I've shown so much science that you can do this yourself naturally, but you just have to be given the right tools. So I wanted to go on and first of all, give you the information about where this center is, that it is approved by the state of California. It is the first clinic approved that's doing these antibody treatments to COVID-19. The only the only thing is you have to already be sick in order to get these antibodies, and that to me just does not make sense. I would think that they would want to give you these antibodies now before you get it to help prevent it. But apparently they don't want to do it that way. So what's the alternative, guys? The alternative is take your health upon yourself. Reverse your if you're obese or if you're heavily overweight, reverse it. Lose the weight. If you have type 2 diabetes and you're on medication, you're in the high risk zone of having some major severe symptoms if you do get COVID-19. You guys can reverse your type 2 diabetes and your fatty liver, which causes type 2 diabetes, and get off the medication naturally by just changing the foods you eat, how often you eat, and then change the type of water you're drinking. It's really not that hard. You just have to want to do it. Okay, guys? So, guys, if you want more information on what I'm talking at billmabrycoaching.com. You can also go to my Facebook group page. Join it at Fat Loss Made Easy. I'm the group that has the food as the main picture. And there's some great videos in there and health blogs in there. And actually a free ebook as well on how to lose weight as well. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry and subscribe. So guys, this information is probably something you should keep. So if in fact you do contract COVID-19, you have the information, you know where the clinic is. And if you have any of these underlying diseases they're saying, then you have the option to go there, which I would think, I don't know, I would think that sounds better. Sounds pretty good to me. I don't know much about it. I'm going to do a lot more research in these antibodies, but from what I researched, it seems to be okay. But I'm not I'm not a doctor, and I haven't done a lot of research on this yet. So I'm just going off of how I feel. Okay. Hope you guys have a great day. You pass this on to your friends so they also know that there's actually a clinic out there that is now doing these antibody treatments to help with the symptoms of COVID-19. You guys have a great day. We'll see you guys at the next video.